Getting old, John. It's just not good.
I'm getting old listening to you right now.
That'll be the line of the day, John. Thank you. That is the line of the day. All right. So Andrew's perked all up as being a big Trump supporter. Really excited by your numbers.
Yeah. The Zogby poll number is 48% approval rating. Around where the Rasmussen reports numbers are, too, 48, I guess today 49 now. And these are the outliers. You have some clustered in the mid-40s, and then Gallup and Marist and others in the high 30s, 38, 39%. And I've identified some reasons why that is and why I think we're right.
Okay. Interestingly, your polling now is done online, which is different than years ago when everybody had a landline. And probably everybody's polling is done this way now, right?
Many of them are. We're among the pioneers. We go back to experimenting with this in the late 90s. But just look at it this way. Landline penetration in American households is today what it was in the mid-1950s.
Yeah, think about that. I had an interview with the BBC Talk Radio London. I'm on there usually a couple times a quarter, and they wanted to talk about Harvey Weinstein on Sunday night. So they call me in the morning. I'm all prepped and ready to go, and there was a problem because of the snowstorm. There was a huge delay, and we kept reconnecting, a huge delay. And the guy said, "Do you have a landline?" No, I don't have a landline. Can you believe it? Could you drive to the studio? No, I can't. It's 9 o'clock at night my time.
Sure.
So I got to tell you, increasingly, or should I say decreasingly, the landline inside the house, it's crazy.
It is, and now we've achieved a point where Internet access at home is nearly universal. Not quite, but certainly the penetration is sufficient that you get what we call in the business a good distribution of your sample across, demographic characteristics.
John, a lot of people who still have landlines, and it's obviously, I think everyone can understand why you're doing it online. But with landlines, typically it's an older demographic. Is it the opposite with online polling? Is your sample, this 48% support, is that primarily among younger voters? I know you said you get a good distribution, but can you talk about that dynamic?
Yeah, no, good question. You do get a greater percentage of younger voters online than you do by polling just
landlines.
Landlines.
Yeah.
However, we have to increase the sample of those that we poll among young people. They're still less willing to take surveys than older people are.
Okay.
So we have to increase the numbers of people that we reach out to who are under 30.
Understood. All right. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, because we could go on about the landline and why so many people don't have it, but it does change. It has changed polling, and we're to the point now where Internet is just it's something that everybody has. We've watched that.
Mainstream.
It is now mainstream. We watched it change over the last few years. So, John, I was interested. Your millennial numbers show support for the president. Yeah.
And there's a number of reasons for that, but I think it's more style than it is substance. That I think, first of all, the economy is fairly good under his watch. And then, secondly, I think that there's an anti-elite or anti-hierarchical bias that millennials have, and this is a guy who gives the appearance to them anyway that he's battling some of the older structures and institutions in our society that they feel have sort of left them by.
Very, very interesting. And so that style, which is what everybody talks about, and if you listen to other polls, they'll tell you it's the style that the millennials don't like. But your poll is showing that they really actually do like that style.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's more that than it is, say, the substance of Donald Trump. Those are issues, the war and the battle on immigration. Those sorts of things. Those are the sorts of things that millennials don't identify with.
Got it. All right, John, very interesting. Of course, you can go online and check out his polling numbers, and we appreciate your time, John Zogby.